Imagine walking into a courtroom to end your marriage. Your wife looks you in the eye and calmly lists every property she wants to take. The house, the cars, the business, the savings, everything. You expect the judge to end the case in just a few minutes. But then, a man sitting quietly in the courtroom stands up. His words were so powerful that nobody moved. Even the judge remained silent, and what happened next shocked everyone. Stay with me until the end, because this story carries a lesson that could save many marriages. A married couple had spent over 15 years together. They had built a beautiful home, raised children, started businesses. From the outside, they looked like the perfect family, but behind closed doors, arguments had become a daily routine. Small disagreements turned into bitterness. Communication disappeared. Instead of solving problems together, both started keeping score of who had sacrificed more. Eventually, the wife decided she had had enough. She filed for divorce. On the day of the hearing, the courtroom was filled with relatives and friends. The husband sat quietly, his head lowered. The wife appeared confident. When the judge asked if she was certain about ending the marriage, she answered without hesitation, "Yes, Your Honor." The judge then asked about the division of their property. Without wasting any time, she began listing everything she wanted. "The house belongs to me. I will keep the SUV. The business should remain under my control. I want half of the savings." She continued speaking until every valuable possession had been mentioned. The courtroom became completely silent. Everyone looked at the husband, expecting him to argue, but he simply remained quiet. The judge looked at the husband. "Do you have anything to say before I deliver my decision?" Before the husband could respond, one of his longtime friends slowly stood up. He respectfully asked the judge for permission to speak. The judge hesitated for a moment, then nodded. The man looked directly at the woman, not with anger, not with hatred, but with compassion. He said, "My sister, today you have mentioned every property in this marriage, the house, the money, the business, the cars. But there's one thing you never mentioned." The courtroom became even quieter. He continued, "You never mentioned the years your husband stood beside you when there was nothing. You never mentioned the nights both of you stayed awake, planning your future. You never mentioned the tears you shared when life became difficult. You never mentioned the children who still call both of you mom and dad." He paused, then said, "Property can be replaced, but a loyal companion who has walked with you through storms is much harder to replace." Everyone listened carefully. The friend continued, "Many people believe happiness begins after divorce." He paused for a moment and said, "Sometimes it does, especially where there is abuse or danger." Then he added, "But many people later discover that what they truly lost wasn't a house or a car." He went on, "They lost someone who genuinely knew them." He added thoughtfully, "If this marriage is ending only because of pride, anger, misunderstandings, or possessions, please think again." He reminded everyone, "Years from now, those cars will become old. The house may belong to someone else. Money comes and goes. But loneliness has a way of reminding people about the value of what they once had." Then he asked one final question. "When you are old and looking back at your life, will these properties keep you company? Or will you wish you had fought harder to save your family?" The courtroom was completely silent. Some people wiped tears from their eyes. Even the judge lowered his head for a moment. The woman sat quietly. For the first time that day, she wasn't thinking about the house. She wasn't thinking about the cars. She was thinking about the memories, the birthdays, the struggles, the promises they had once made. After several moments, she slowly stood. She looked at the judge, then at her husband. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Before we end this marriage, can we try one last time? Not for the property, but for everything we once believed in." The courtroom remained silent. Whether they ultimately reconciled or still chose separate paths, that decision belonged to them. But everyone left with one unforgettable lesson. Material possessions can be earned again. Trust can sometimes be rebuilt. Love often requires humility, forgiveness, and honest effort. And while some marriages truly need to end for safety or well-being, Others can sometimes be saved when pride gives way to sincere communication and a willingness to work through problems. What do you think? If you were the judge, what decision would you have made? Should the woman have continued with the divorce, or was the friend's advice worth considering? Share your opinion in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more life-changing stories and powerful lessons. Until next time, stay blessed and take care.